Good evening and Happy New Year. Let's start off with that. And we would like to welcome you tonight to the first meeting of the year for the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. The time is 6:31 and I am the chair, Jamel McKenzie. And at this time, what I would like to do is I'd like to have everyone that's on the call, starting with our BIDA board members, to say who you are as we continue our roll call.
Awesome. Happy New Year, City of College Park. I'm Celissa Jefferson, Ward 4.
Anita Brown-Cadis, Ward 3.
Leslie Zinn, BIDA at large.
Bianca Motley Broom, Mayor.
Ken Allen, Mayor Pro Tem.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mercedes Miller. I'm the interim city manager.
Tasha Hall Garrison, Community Development Administrator for City of College Park.
Aretha Beasley, Administrative Assistant, Economic Development, Assistant Secretary, BIDA, City of College Park.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Renee Copley. I'm the Main Street Manager for the City of College Park.
And we still have a board member, a new board member. Would you tell us who you are as well?
Recording in progress.
My name is Aminata Bojang. I'm a new board member, so thank you guys for allowing me to be here today.
Wonderful.
Welcome.
Do we have anyone else that has not announced themselves that's on the call with us? Any of our visitors?
Yes, Finance Jones on the call.
All righty.
And Jeanette Dickens on the call.
Councilman Ambrose Clay on the call.
All righty. Well, welcome again. And we have quite an extensive agenda for tonight's meeting. We're going to try to move as quickly as we can, but we know that we have to take care of the business of taking care of the business. So just ask everyone to put on your patient hat or whatever you need so that we can get this stuff, get what you need to get done today. We're going to begin today with item number 2 on the agenda, which is the review and the approval of the minutes from our November 2021 and December 2021 meetings. We'll begin with the November meeting, which is letter A. Are there any corrections or changes that need to be made to these minutes? I know I have one thing, and it's actually line 130 on packet page 9. It's not exactly clear. It says she said the original budget, just speaking of myself, she said the original budget she asked for was cut by 97%, but actually it was what I was saying. I don't know if it was clear on the tape, but I was saying that the original budget that was asked for was a 97% cut from the previous awards event. So rather than, not that what we asked for at the beginning was 97, but it was from what we normally did in the past. Okay. Then also packet page 9, line 135, business awards reception on December 9th in person at the Hotel Indigo, not spending over the, it says spending over the $2,200 that was budgeted, but it was actually not spending over the $2,200 that was budgeted. But that's all that I have. Does anybody else have anything?
I do, along in the same packet in the same area. I voted against it and it's not noted there.
Okay. So it says it was okay, moved by Demetrius Taylor. It was seconded by Pro Tem Derek Taylor. Mayor Motley Broom abstained. So it should say after, it should also say that Leslie Zinn voted no. Okay, and that's packet page 9. Okay, that was in discussion about the VITA Awards event that we held at the Hotel Indigo. Okay, so at this time, if there aren't any more changes, can we entertain a motion from the floor to accept the minutes from the November 11th meeting with the revisions?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, those in favor? Well, I guess we got to move and we got a second. I heard Leslie move. Who else said move?
Second.
Oh, so Alyssa will put you down as a second if that's okay with you. And those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, all right, let's move on to our second agenda packet, which is the December meeting packet. And are there any changes or anything? Okay, I do have some. Okay. Sabrina, I'm not sure, I didn't hear the recording of this, but I know that I did not end the meeting that night. I think that on packet page 14, when we go to when we return from executive session to regular session, I believe that was Demetrius Taylor because I had sound challenges. So Demetrius called for a motion to come out of executive session. That's line 91. And so I'm not sure who moved on his motion unless he made the motion and I don't know.
I'll double check the minutes for you.
Yeah, so we just need to check
Monday.
on that. But that's the only thing. I just know that I was totally having difficulty. I was having some serious difficulty. Okay.
Okay, I'll correct that.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you for your excellent, your minutes are fantastic. I just really appreciate it. So at this time, can we entertain a motion to adopt these minutes with the changes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, second. All right, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I believe that is unanimous from all the mouths. Okay. All right. We're moving fast. Okay, let's go on to number 3, additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to tonight's agenda. And I know that we do have at least 1 or 2. Is that correct, Artie?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would like to add, well, actually, Dan Lee said that the item that we added, it's already included in the executive session. So we're just going to add it in. We're going to discuss it at the same time. There's no need to add an additional item for the item that was emailed out to you.
Okay, sounds great. I do have one addition, which is only going to take a couple of seconds. The VITA Awards video schedule. I'd like to, if we accept that, to just add that on to item G under letter 4. I believe that's where it might go. Would anyone like to motion that we add that on?
So moved.
All right, thank you. Second? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed, please indicate that you're opposed, since we did not all say aye. Okay, well, Sabrina, I hope you got that. Okay, so we're going to move now into new business, which is item number 4. It brings me great pleasure to acknowledge our new VITA board members for actually not just for 2022, but for the 2022-2026, I believe, session. And I want to say congratulations and welcome again to our returning VITA board member, who is Miss Alyssa Jefferson. We are happy to have you back on board, and I know that you rolled your sleeves up and you're ready to work. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we're looking forward to having you serve on the BIDA board.
Thank
I
you.
also would like to, at this time, Solicitor, did you want to say anything? Did you want to address us or say anything to the board?
No, I'm just glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Then I would like to recognize our new member, who is our Ward 2 Council representative on the BIDA board. I've had a chance to have a conversation with her, very lovely lady. I'm actually trying to see if I see her right now. Did we lose her? We might have. Is she?
I'm
Oh,
right
there you
here.
are. Okay. Don't leave me. Okay. So, yes, Miss Aminata Bojan, if I said that, hopefully
Yes.
I'm working on it. So, and she is actually, Joe Karn was nominated, and the council accepted the nomination. Would you like to say anything to us? We're so happy to have you.
I am so happy for this opportunity. I'm just excited. I cannot wait. I'm so glad I'm with you guys. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity.
Well,
thank you.
And again, thank you for accepting. We have some wonderful persons on the board. And last but not least, I would like to recognize none other than our newly elected Mayor Pro Tem, Ken Allen, who is joining us for this year on the board. Councilman Allen, we're so happy to have you. And you've been sitting in our meetings since you were elected as a council person, and it's going to be great to have your participation on the board. Would you like to?
I'm happy to be here. And one correction, I have 1 year term. You mentioned everybody had terms. The new members had, my term is only 1 year.
Right, and that's why I said it just now, because I really like you're here for 2022. So, but we're happy to have you. And again, thank you for serving our city. Okay, so at this time, we're going to move on to our next agenda item, which is development authority board member training. And I just want to, this was one of my soapboxes. There's a couple of things that I tried to stress to members last year, because the 2010 Georgia Code Title 36, local government provisions applicable to counties and municipal corporations. This is a long title, okay? Chapter 62, conduct of members of local authorities. Article 2 for development authorities, which is the section 36-62A-21, talks about required training on development and redevelopment programs. In this statute, it is mandatory that any person that serves on a development authority must, within their first 12 months on this authority, receive the statute training. And so we have had the classes offered at UGA. UGA is normally where we attend our classes. And it is imperative that in fact, when you register for your class at UGA, it actually tells you that all of the sessions meet the statutorily mandated training requirement for development authority board members. And so it's so important. I want to stress it again today that all of our members, that you get your authority board training, okay? There are things that just being on this BIDA board and attending meetings, you're not going to understand and or get the full understanding of how a development authority operates. And so at that training is going to be discussed legal issues, ethics, which we all are concerned about, conflicts of interest, open records and open meetings requirements, understanding why we can't have a quorum of members together at one time, incentives, an understanding of how bonds work, strategic planning and community development, and it goes on and on and on. So again, I just want to remind you that this is something that really, for you to legally be, a voting member on an authority in the state of Georgia, you need to get this training in your first 12 months. I do want to congratulate Miss Dr. Anita, who did receive her training on last year. I myself, of course, have completed the basic and the advanced training. That once you finish your basic training, there's also an advanced training course. So, and I also want to congratulate Celissa Jefferson and our newest member, Ms. Aminata Bojan, for registering to take the class when it's offered in the next couple of months. So get it in if you haven't and you're on this board. I want to emphasize again, you need to get your training. You need to know what we're doing. It will help you so much. And with that being said, I do want us to also, when we speak in terms of training, we need to revisit the retreat and plan a follow-up. So we'll probably have that on our next month's agenda, but we definitely need to not only understand what development authorities do, but understand what we as a development authority, who we are, what we do. Because the more prepared that we are, when we receive our training, the better our board will be. And the better our board will be, the better our city will be. So that's my 15 cents. And it's not an action item, but it is basically letting you know that training is very imperative when you are a part of a board such as this. Okay. Are there any questions or comments before I move on? Okay, so at this time, we're going to move on to item agenda. Let's see what number 4C, which is the election of College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority officers. We have four officers that we will be nominating in today's meeting. And so we're going to be, yes, ma'am.
I would like to nominate, I would like to call a motion and nominate for you to remain as our chairperson, Mrs. Jamila McKenzie.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I will be interrupted for that. Is there someone that would like to second that Jamila McKenzie remains as the chair for BIDA?
I second.
Oh, thank you very much. And at this time, all those that are in favor, let's take it to a vote. Those that are in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, so is that unanimous? All right, wow. Okay, thank you guys.
Hey.
I appreciate the opportunity to continue to serve. Y'all just kind of like surprised me right there. I mean, not that I didn't want to, but I'm just honored that you would want me to. So with that being said, I'm going to continue chairing this meeting today. I would like to actually nominate Ms. Celissa Jefferson to be our vice chair from Ward 4. So I'm making a motion. If there's anyone that would like to second that, please let us know at this time.
Anita Cadis seconds that motion.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cadis, Dr. Cadis. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All righty. I believe that is also unanimous. Thank you very much. And Celissa, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're going to get put to work. Just know that. So, don't think you're going to be a vice chair that just sits around.
No, I didn't expect that.
All right. Okay. So we're grateful. Okay. So at this time we have the nomination for secretary treasurer. And is there anyone that I do have a nomination in mind, and but you can always, if you don't, I'd like to nominate our newest member, Ms. Aminata Bojan, to be our secretary treasurer for this upcoming year, 2022. Would someone like to second that?
I'll second.
Okay. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. 3. Okay. Is that just 3 of us? Or do we have a 4th? Or how many people? In fact, let's raise.
I'm going to abstain.
You're abstaining? Okay. All righty. So do we have any other, those? Okay. So how many said aye? Please just raise your hand so Sabretha can see. Okay. So 3 of us have said yes. Aye. Okay. Those that would say no, we have 1 abstain. That's Leslie Zinn. And those that say no.
I'll abstain.
You're abstaining? Okay. And Mayor Motley Broom?
I vote no.
No. Well, I believe in this case, Dan Lee helped me out, that the vote carries because that the vote carries. Am I correct? We had
4-3, sounds like.
We had 3 that said yes, we had 2 that abstained, and we had 1 that said no.
Carries.
Carried. Okay, congratulations, Ms. Bojang. You are now our Secretary Treasurer of BIDA.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, thank you. I was actually nominated Secretary Treasurer my very first BIDA board meeting. So, like I said, I'm very excited that you ladies are already signed up for your developmental authority training. So let's get to work. Okay, item D, the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority Board's consideration and
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chair,
Yes.
we don't have an Assistant Secretary Treasurer.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I did that last year too, I think. I would like, should I nominate again? Because I'm having fun. I would like to nominate Ms. Aretha Beasley as our Assistant Secretary for the year 2022. Is there anyone that would like to second that?
I'll second that. Yes.
All right. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All righty.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Aye.
Okay. I think the ayes have it. Do we have any abstentions or noes? Because that's a job that nobody on here wants to do. I'll tell you that. Tasha can tell you that. No, I mean, it's always a lot of work. It's a big learning curve. It's a lot of work. I don't know how I forgot that. You're so important and valuable to us, Miss Beasley. Okay, so now I can move on. You know, Artie, I'm just trying to get through this agenda. College item D, 4D, College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority's Board's consideration in authorizing the BIDA chair to execute a resolution to accept property from the city of College Park. And we have that documentation. Are you going to pull that up, or do we just need to decide what we're going to try to, oh, here it is right here.
Discuss it.
Okay, Artie, did you want to speak on that?
Yes. The city of College Park, there's property that's currently under contract. There's 56 acres that's currently under contract to be sold to Southeast Capital. And the closing is scheduled for later this month currently. Some of the property is in the name of the Business and Industrial Development Authority. Other portions of the property is in the name of the city of College Park. For us to complete the transaction to sell this property to a private developer, the property was transferred from the city of College Park and to the Business and Industrial Development Authority. And at this time, we need a resolution to be executed for the development authorities to receive that property from the city of College Park. So what you guys would be doing on this evening, what you're being asked to do, is to authorize the chairperson to execute the resolution to accept the real estate from the city of College Park so that we can complete the transaction to Southeast Capital. That's what's being requested tonight. The resolution is in your packet. Are there any questions?
I could add, Artie, ordinarily when an individual transfers title to another individual, all that's needed is the grantor, the one with the property, to sign the deed. When local governments are involved, there's a requirement that not only be a transfer, but that there be acceptance. And this resolution is BIDA's written acceptance of that deed from the city.
And everything is in order according to what you read, Dan?
Yes, sir. You mean as far as this resolution goes, or is
right.
this fixed? That's right. We prepared it. I prepared it.
Okay, are there any questions from the board?
I guess I have a question, and I see a lot of parcel IDs number here, but conceptually, I have no idea where this property is located. I mean, generally I do. And I also know just the long history of this particular project. there being several items to address it. So is this the ION project? Is that sort of where where is this
No, ma'am.
located?
No, ma'am. This is actually, this property is located in 6 West, and I can pull a map up for you. This property is located in 6 West. It's the residential development area, the 56 acres that is at the northernmost point of the 6 West property. If you give me a moment, I will pull it up for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Okay, let me know, guys, when you can see my map.
We can see it.
See it.
Okay, I'm gonna move it around a little bit. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right now, my cursor is on the Brady Recreation Center.
Mhm.
Okay. This is Roosevelt Street. This area is College Park Elementary School. The property that we're looking at right now that's being transferred to the BIDA is all of this property within the line of the cursor that I'm showing you right now. Now, all of this property in here is being transferred to BIDA, the Business and Industrial Development Authority, excluding the Brady Recreation Center that's right here in the middle. If I click on each one of these properties, and I'm just going to click on one, you'll see the 0541 City of College Park. It's in the name of the City of College Park. If you look at those numbers that you were just talking about, Ms. Cadis, you'll see that particular tax ID number. That's what's being transferred. Now, also, I can show you another piece of property. If I click on this piece of property, you'll see it's in the name of the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority already. You won't find this parcel ID number being transferred because it's already in the name of BIDA. Do you understand?
Yes, that makes it clear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Are there any additional questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not concerning the transfer, but it is concerning the project. Which development will they be starting first, the apartment complex or the single family homes?
The multifamily will be the first development out the ground, but what they'll be doing is they will be doing a mass grading of the entire site.
Okay.
And then they'll start to put in the infrastructure, but they will be building, once they get the infrastructure in for the multifamily, they'll continue to build vertically.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this is an action item.
Yeah, this is an action item and it can be acted on now since we're in a regular session.
Okay, so before I ask for someone to move on this, do we have any more questions? Is everybody pretty clear on what's going on here? Okay, so I'd like to entertain a motion from the floor to allow the chair to execute this resolution. Well, actually, let me make sure. Wait a second. Yeah, to execute to accept this property from the City of College Park. This 6 acres. Okay, thank you, Councilman. Did someone second? Did I hear someone second that? Okay, Celissa, thank you very much, Vice Chair. And at this time, those in favor, please indicate by saying aye, or you can raise your hand either.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you so much. All right. Let's move right along.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would recommend that you, in taking the votes, especially since we're in Zoom, that you ask for the ayes and then the nays to make certain there are no nays, or to count the nays as appropriate.
Okay. So
And abstain.
Was there anyone that abstained or said, or was a nay? Did everybody agree on that last vote? Because I want to get. Okay, so no one. Okay, so that was a unanimous vote. All right, thank you, Attorney Lee. I will do that. It actually makes it much easier to do. Yeah, thank you for both of us, Aretha and myself. Okay, so let's move on to item letter E, which is the BIDA board authorizes the BIDA chairman to execute a resolution to quit claim property inadvertently conveyed to the College Park and College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. And again, Artie, would you just kind of give us a little bit of background on this?
Yes. About 4 years ago now, I found out because I was marketing a piece of property for a current business, BMW, wanted to move here to the city of College Park. They were considering College Park. And I started marketing a piece of property, and I found out that Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport was also marketing the same piece of property. So I said, I appreciate the help, but, you know, I don't need you guys to, you know, assist us in marketing our property. And they said, well, it's our property. It's not College Park's property. So that kind of set off a red flag. So I told them to send me a listing of all the properties that the Hartsfield-Jackson felt that they owned within the city of College Park. And I wanted to see that list. And I found out that there was probably 23 properties in the city of College Park that we felt that we owned, that they also felt that they owned. After we did title searches and extenuous research, we found out that there were approximately about 11 or 12 properties that we actually owned. Some of them were quick fix properties where they were just scrivener's errors, and then others needed more detailed research to address. So because of the turnover of attorneys with the city of College Park and the turnover of attorneys with the city of Atlanta, Department of Aviation, here I am 3.5, 4 years later to address 6 of these properties that were inadvertently deeded to the city of College Park. The city of Atlanta is doing the same thing on their side also with the properties that we have identified as us owning also. So what we're doing right now is we're quitclaim deeding the properties back to them, to the city of Atlanta, of those properties that they rightfully own and that were inadvertently transferred to us. And at the same time, the city of Atlanta is doing the same thing on their side. So this particular item here is for, we're requesting that you have the BIDA chairman to execute quitclaim deeds to delinquish ownership of these properties to the city of Atlanta Department of Aviation. And like I said, the same thing will be happening on the side of the city of Atlanta also. Of course, you know, things are real busy over there because they have a brand new mayor and he signs off on this type of paper. He's the only person that can sign off on this type of paperwork. So they're taking it through their legal department to make sure that everything is done correctly. Does anyone, Dan, do you want to add anything?
I think it was a great explanation, and you know, we're glad we've been able to come across. One of the properties is in the 6 West properties in the SEC property, same property that we just had a resolution related to, and that's what brought it back to a head, and this will fix that also.
So are we talking about 6 properties that are listed at the top of page 30?
Yes, sir. Yes. And one of those 6 properties is in the is within the 56 acres that we just executed a resolution to transfer and to accept in BIDA.
But I thought this quitclaim is for us to transfer it to the city of Atlanta.
It's the correction. They evidently they deeded the wrong properties back when they did it. And this is the wrong property and you're deeding it back to them. property that they are correcting and sending to BIDA. One of those properties is in the SEC.
Okay, so the one that's inside 6 West is not one of these 6 that we're quit claiming back to them.
Yes.
Right, it's the trade from that. You're right.
Are there any other questions for Artie or Attorney Lee before we take this to a vote?
No.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to authorize myself, the chair, to execute a resolution to quit claim the property that was inadvertently conveyed to the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. Is there someone that will make that motion? So move on that.
So moved.
All right, thank you, Vice Chair. Second, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Doctor. And those in favor, please raise your hand if let us see you. Okay, if you're in favor. Okay, we have everyone. And Ms. Bojang, are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay, so that is everyone. Sabrina.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And so we have taken care of that.
Madam Chair, if I could, again, I think the rules and the law involving virtual meetings is still evolving, and this is recorded audio wise and video wise. But I think if you would seek a audio vote of yay and an audio vote of nay, it would be better recorded.
Okay, I'm gonna get this right the next time, Dan. Okay.
There's no right or wrong. I'm just looking for
No,
better.
but when you said audio, I said, yeah, because no one can see a person's hand raising. So, okay, I will, we'll get that together when we come out of executive session. The last item before we go into, our GI, our updates is item G. Dan, did you have something?
No, that's all right.
Okay, item G was just simply the BIDA Awards video schedule. Want everybody to know that, when we actually had the awards event, we had a lot of technical difficulties with the awesome video production that Gerald put together. We didn't have sound. And so, yes, sir. Artie, did you?
I think we missed an item.
Yeah.
Item
We're in a.
Oh, okay, thank you. So we'll come back to item G. All right, so item F. Jamel, slow down. Okay, I'm trying to get us out of here. F is the adoption of a resolution to accept city property. Artie, it's in your hands.
Okay. This particular item is dealing with BAM, B-A-M-M, the development group that will be developing a medical office building, MOB, in the downtown area. I can pull a map up to show everyone the area, but this particular property is currently in the name of the city of College Park, but we have to have that property transferred to the ownership of the Business and Industrial Development Authority. And let me know once you're able to see my screen.
We can see it.
Yeah.
You see it?
Okay. To kind of give you your bearings. Okay, where am I?
Harvard Avenue.
Okay, here we are. Right here in the corner, this is Main Street. This is Nouveau Restaurant here on the corner. And this is the alleyway. And this is all of the property, this block, this property, and this property. These are all of the parcels that are being conveyed to the Development Authority so that we can complete the sales transaction by the 24th of this month. So does anyone have any questions?
Is this the same property? Is this the same property? This is Anita. Is this the same property we discussed at our last meeting in terms of right of way, et cetera?
Yeah, I believe so.
In terms of the alley.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It is.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
There's an issue about the alley coming up. Ms. Cadis.
Okay.
All right. Are there any questions? Any additional questions? All right.
Okay, so if we don't have any additional questions at this time, we'd like to entertain a motion from the floor to, I guess, is this going to authorize the chair or for us to adopt a resolution to accept the city property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, would someone like to actually move to motion that? Make this so moved. Okay, Doctor. That was moved by Dr. Nita, and we need someone to second. Okay, second by Vice Chair Jefferson. And those who are in favor of this, we're going to give you the opportunity to let us know, to tell us that you are. Say your name and say aye.
Anita Cadis, aye.
Okay, Jamel McKenzie, aye.
Celissa Jefferson, aye.
Leslie Zinn, aye.
Bianca Motley Broom, aye.
Ken Allen, aye.
Menada Bojang, aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. Dan, that was good. Thank you. All righty, so the last item that we have before we go into our reports is just, again, so a video has been produced from the event that we had, and it has been showing on YouTube, I think, since December. It now has about 155 views, but it has been recently posted on the city's Facebook, social media, as well as Twitter, and on our program, our CPTV 23 program. I'm not going to actually mention all the different times, but there's several times a day during the week that video is showing. We also made mention when we were talking about doing a media production for this event that the actual video would show between the city council meeting and the workshop council meeting and the actual general meeting for city council. And so basically I wanted to bring that back up again, because sometimes we talk about things, but we don't execute them. So with the board, I guess at this time, I don't know if we need to vote to say that we want this to be done. Artie, what's the direction, I guess? Do we need to vote that the board would like to ask the city council to do it, or is it just something that we're just gonna ask the city council to, I mean, how do we get that done to be able to have that video played in between those two meetings?
Well, I have the city manager here. I mean, all I have to do is get authorization from her, and she would give the direction to probably the city clerk's office that's responsible for the agenda, well, making sure that everything is up to speed and ready to go for the city council meetings. I don't think you formally have to take a vote.
Okay.
It would, are you speaking about the February agenda?
Yeah, I could be, yeah, not for the meeting this coming Tuesday. It's probably but it would be shown in between. So when the workshop session ends and you kind of have that 20-30 minutes, the video would play, not necessarily within the meeting.
I think I actually saw it this past meeting. That's when I saw it. So it might already be being done. This is Anita.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's when I saw it.
Sometimes you don't have a lag there. So if you don't have a lag, it's kind of hard to show it.
Oh,
So
okay. But it's a very good video. Thank you very much.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it made a lot of the persons who were the awardees, they were so happy, and they posted them on their social media, at least the pictures and everything. I don't know about the video, but I just think that, like last year we had it, their name, the winners at the GICC, I believe. So just something to continue to showcase those businesses this year. So city manager, you're going to just handle that? We'll just put that in.
No, it's not a problem to put it on the agenda, but it will have to go on the next meeting. because we have to get it in the rotation of what they're showing on the screen. So if you have someone to send it to me, we'll get it on the next agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. So with that being said, we're going to move into our reports, beginning with the GICC update. Do we have?
Okay, I'm doing Denise's update. She had to take her daughter to college.
Okay.
So during the month of December, they had the All-Star Cheerleading Challenge with over 9,000 people. Delta Airlines had a hiring event. They had a trade show at Scott Supply Corporation, and they also hosted the Frank McLaren High School graduation. At the arena, they had 2 Skyhawks games, and then some of the games were canceled due to the COVID numbers, and they did a film shoot for the show Queens on ABC. Some things that they have coming up for January, catering business is beginning to come back. So St. Augustine has a Mardi Gras ball every year, so they would be back the month of February. We also have Block Burners, which is a motorcycle club. They have a big party with over 1,000 people. And we're doing a senior gala for Westlake High School with over 300 people. And the convention center was able to book Westlake High School's graduation in the arena for this spring. And we received money from Fulton County for the vaccinations. They sent us a check for over $350,000 for hosting the vaccinations back in the spring. And that's it.
Well, that's some good news. And of course, we did have a Skyhawks game this week and they won. So, so it's good to have the arena back open and having games going. Thank you very much, City Manager, for giving us the GIC update. Does anyone have any questions for our City Manager before we move on to our next report? Okay, well, at this time, we're going to move on to our economic development reports. Is that you, Renee, first, or?
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Renee?
Okay, you can advance to the
Okay.
third slide.
Do you see the third?
No, it's still on the first page.
Okay, I must be on the wrong screen. Okay, let's see if you see it now.
Yes, there we go. All righty, so for the months of November and December, we had 5 business changes. 2 were just location changes and 3 new businesses. And the next slide. CPMSA has been pretty busy. We had a ribbon cutting in November, which was Cycle Gang. They moved to College Street. And then we also had a grand opening or soft opening for Milk and Cheese, which is right across from the depot. And they're thriving and both doing well. And next slide. We had a lot of beautification happen in the last couple of months of the year. If you haven't visited the new mural on the side of the Real Milk and Honey, that is completed, and you can see our artist there in that last picture with that. And while that mural was being painted, I noticed that wrought iron structure needed some love as well. And our firefighter recruits offered to refurbish that for us. So they stepped up and we had a fun little day, and we had Sparky, I guess that's his name, was out there as well. So it was a good time. We had our first annual College Park Tree Trail. It was a huge success. CPMSA raised over $6,000 on this first time event. We also were able to give back to a local nonprofit. So on the right, you see their Permission to Fly, was given a check for over $200, and they were very appreciative of it. So we were very proud of this event. Looking forward to bringing it back next year or the end of this year. But we did learn a lot of lessons. We're probably going to build a dome over that area so the wind does not knock all our trees down. Next slide. And we also incorporated something called Warm Up and Wine on the night of Light Up the City, which was when we unveiled the trees. And that was a great success as well. CPMSA raised over $300 for that portion of the event. And CPMSA had a wonderful year last year. Our treasurer noted that this was the first year that we've ever raised the amount of money we did. We raised, or in total, almost $100,000. So hats off to CPMSA. And one of the ways that our board chairman wanted to give back to the businesses was by offering a holiday business owner recognition event. And we did that at one of our businesses, ATL, which is on College Street. And we had several business owners attend, and it was just a great night. And you can see Councilman Allen was in attendance and gave a little speech to the businesses. It was just a great fun time. And we had a great year, and looking forward to rolling up our sleeves and making 2022 even better.
Renee,
Yes.
how did you raise $100,000?
So it was a compilation. That includes the parklet funds that we raised. That includes the funding that we've been getting for the payments for the parklet. It was just a variety of things. We had donations from some developers. So it was just a compilation of things, but it was not 100,000. It was close to 100,000. So.
Okay, but you guys used the money that y'all raised for your business recognition party.
Correct. We did. CPMSA paid for, they rented the facility, and then they provided the food. And then the bar, of course, was people purchased their own alcohol, that kind of thing. But CPMSA did that to give back to the business. And last slide. And just to make note of a couple of upcoming events, our next CPMSA board meeting is February 9th at 3 p.m., still on Zoom. We have a spring cleanup. CPMSA has a spring cleanup scheduled for March. I'm working in conjunction with Public Works on that because we have a couple of things we want to do together. But the College Park Women's Club is also doing a spring cleanup in February. So we're also going to partner with that. And they're trying to make that one a citywide one. So be on the lookout if you'd like to volunteer. That will be happening on February 12th. And then our Tri-Cities mixers are returning. We decided to start it off quarterly because we're still suffering with COVID numbers. So we're going to host the first one in March, and that one will be in Hapeville, and then we'll rotate between East Point and College Park after that. So if there are no questions, that will be the end of my report.
Are there any questions for Renee? Renee, thank you again. Just great to see Main Street on the move. And I want to also thank our merchants on Main Street adopted over 88 families over the Christmas holiday, provided gifts for over 88 families, I should say. So that's another thing. And we just really appreciate just how, the Main Street corridor has come together to do so many amazing things. Thank you for your leadership.
Yes,
at this time, Tasha.
Thank you. So in the month of November, the South Side had 9 new businesses come into the corridor. And then in December, we also had 7 new businesses coming into the corridor. So I've been reaching out and speaking with the property and business owners just to welcome them and build that relationship with the businesses. Next slide. Okay, so I really wanted to recognize first my staff. My staff has been hardly really severely hit with COVID, but despite that, they have been very strong in the compliance efforts placed throughout the city. One thing that we're working on, and this is a multi-department effort, is to bring back our apartment sweeps, and we're actually going to begin doing multi-department hotel sweeps. So we have reached out to police, fire, code compliance, as well as economic development, and then in addition to some of the Fulton County agencies to ensure that College Park is that hospitality city and that all guests feel welcome and safe in the city. We also have been encouraged to participate in City of South Fulton's LCI, as far as we are a stakeholder within it, and we will be providing updates once more information is underway on that. Right now, we have reviewed the multi-tenant ordinance, myself and Sabrina of inspections, and we will be in the future presenting for mayor and council with requested updates of how it will administratively be really applied. As far as currently, we are focusing in code compliance on homelessness and property maintenance. In short, really informing property owners of the conditions of their property and making them really aware so that they can be responsible for the safety and maintenance of those properties. Lastly, on the south side, we are focusing on the nuisance abatement. As far as for the city, a nuisance abatement is one of the tools that we are able to use on properties where owners are not coming into compliance. And I have met with several departments as well as the city attorney to help streamline and facilitate this effort. Next slide. So, on the south side, I did not get to include a picture, but I did want to recognize 2106 Godby Road. You may have heard of that property because it was involved in a fire in the past months. With the assistance of my staff, that building has now been demoed. So if you were to go by, it will see a completely clean space, and we look forward to any new development that will be going in. I have included the upcoming meetings for the Atlanta Aerotropolis CID. It occurs every second Thursday of each month. As far as with the Old National Merchants Association, the meetings had gone back to in person, but with the increase of COVID cases, they have not announced if it will be taking place virtually or if it will be in person. So once I receive an update, I'll forward that information over to the board. Next slide. So just wanting to talk about some of the community development efforts going on within the city. Another collaborative effort that we have worked on with economic development, code compliance, police, as well as public works is the Walker Avenue parking plan. Within the city ordinances, there is the ability to list residential historic districts that are adjoining or near commercial to be able to limit those as far as for the parking. So we are working with that closely with the police, and we will have updates to that shortly. I also met with the city planner because there has been an influx of complaints as related to boarding houses, and we are have met and continue the discussion as far as for the enforcement efforts of those. Additionally, we have noticed there are a lot of properties that have recreational vehicles or trailers that are placed as far as parked. It's not conforming to the ordinance. We are working, give me 1 second. Sorry, still momming, had to have my daughter come in. So there are a lot of properties that are not conforming to the ordinance. What we want to do is, once again, we're taking a compliance method. So we want to let people know first, this is the rule, this is what it should be, and give them an opportunity to comply so that that way it's not a bombardment of current policy basically upon staff or upon residents. So we want to take that educational approach before the enforcement. But for any residents watching, you cannot park your RVs and your trailer, unfortunately, in your driveway, nor can you park them on city streets. So that's just a quick little note of the ordinance. Next slide. So one thing that I felt was really a great Christmas gift that we received on Christmas Eve, actually, was we were advised by Trees Atlanta that we are the recipient of 56 trees. The property that I actually suggested for the trees to be planted is on the parcel that is located behind the 2nd precinct. It is adjacent to the Tracy White Rec Center, and it actually is on adjacent to Decatur Pond Road. That road currently touches the data center, and we want to make sure that residents have really access to nature. So I have planned to do some plannings there to increase that ability for the Southside residents. One thing that I had in mind was Ms. Jeffrey's request to be able to have additional trees planted in the city, and there is this opportunity through this grant. So I will be reaching out to the councilmen individually once I receive additional information. We do have a meeting for all of the grant recipients so that there is an opportunity to do some more additional plannings in other areas of the city. But this is a great opportunity for the city of College Park to continue being a tree city. Next slide. And lastly, I do want to say that we do have an upcoming ribbon cutting. Unfortunately, I am waiting for the marketing material, but I will send that out. But we have an automotive shop that has opened at 2319 Godby Road. It is actually called the 6 West Auto Care. So we look forward to welcoming them into the city on February the 14th at 11 a.m. And I will forward that invitation and marketing material once available. Are there any questions?
I have some questions. What is the South Fulton? Was it LCI?
Correct. So that's the City of South Fulton. It's a livable center initiative. Basically, they're focusing on the old national corridor and looking at means to enhance the corridor. So it could be with development, it could be with means of pedestrian safety, it could be transportation. It's just ways to really enhance what's currently existing.
And what is the nuisance abatement?
So the nuisance abatement is for properties in the city of College Park. We actually have a point system. So if there are issues that come from code compliance, police, inspections, there is a listing. And if it gets to, let's say, 100 plus within a 90-day period, then the city can work through a judicial effort to rectify the issues of the property.
And my last question is, what is the Walker parking plan?
So with Walker Avenue, there has been really a severe issue with parking of patrons of the commercial businesses in between Rugby and Walker Avenue. Patrons have been parking, unfortunately, in front of homeowners' mailboxes as well as their driveways. They have been parking on both sides of the street, actually hindering the public works trucks and sanitation trucks, as well as fire trucks and school buses. So what we have worked through is similar to what is occurs on, I forget the street, but it's adjacent to Woodward. When Woodward has had kind of the football games, there's been the similar issues with parking. We're basically duplicating that effort to restrict parking on the first really block of Walker Avenue to residential only, where they would have to have a residential parking pass to be able to park on that street. And it would actually be parking on the southbound end of the street. To still be able to allow parking in that area, we have began to market as well as increase efforts for patrons to park on Reed Street as well as on East Main. And we're working with Renee and police currently, so that is aesthetically pleasing as well as safe for patrons to feel safe, the perception of safety to be increased if they park in those areas.
And Leslie, an example of the LCI, the Livable Centers Initiative, this is a grant through the Atlanta Regional Commission, the ARC. The City of College Park in the past has received 2 LCI grants. The first LCI grant is the driving document that got us, that provided us with kind of the blueprint of the Diamond Project or Project Ion. The first LCI had, a mixed, had a a multifamily development in it, which is now the pad. And then the second LCI we did is actually 6 West, the development. So that's it's kind of the pre-development plan for various projects. So it's a great program, and hopefully through South Fulton's LCI, which also includes the old National Highway in the city of College Park, hopefully it will help us to enhance that and to work with the city of South Fulton.
So Artie, are you saying you're getting a grant? This LCIs are grants to make,
Yes,
to improve?
Yeah, they
Where's
are.
the money coming from?
They're coming from the Atlanta Regional Commission. College Park has already received 2 LCIs in the past. One was for downtown in the TOD area, the transit oriented development area around the MARTA station. And the other one was the overall layout of the 6 West development, is in addition to property in that vicinity, all the way to the Jamestown property, the 18 acres. The city
They're essentially grants to help cities plan and lay out that vision for how do we get those livable centers. I think it's great that the city of South Fulton is incorporating us in their LCI because we share Old National. Hello, Harmony.
So in addition, Leslie, one that I think that you were recently a part of is the Willingham corridor study. That is a LCI that the city of College Park, Hateville, East Point, the Aerotropolis, and Finding the Flint participated in, where they looked at the corridor and they've made suggestions. That one is finalizing now, so it will go before mayor and council shortly for presentation. But they looked at the corridor and then they looked at means of changing maybe the street direction or enhancing the type of development that could be attracted along that corridor. So it's a great example of one recent.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Tasha. And I really like the decision that was made to plant those 50 trees behind the precinct over on Godby Road. So thank you so much for your creativity and ingenuity. At this time, Artie, we'll hear from you.
Okay. The Road Street construction, we've just issued a notice to proceed on that particular project on yesterday. This is approximately an $11 million project to develop Road Street from Camp Creek Parkway up to Redwine within the 6 West development. You should see equipment at the site by the 17th, January 17th of this month. You should see the bridge construction should start around the end of May to early June, and it should be completed. The entire roadway should be completed by April 2024. So we're happy to, be working, getting this project started. BAM's closing we should close on or before January 24th. And that's why we did we accepted the property from the city of College Park. Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport and College Park real estate. I talked about this earlier. There's a discrepancy between the city of College Park Development Authority and the city of Atlanta, that we both own the same property. So we're addressing those issues right now. Hopefully we'll be able to address that within the next 30 days. The chairman has talked about the Bite Awards banquet and the video that was developed by our communications department. It's on our social media now. It's on YouTube, and it's also on the College Park television station. It's been on the College Park television station since the 18th of December, if I'm not mistaken. And we're looking at trying to have it in between the meetings also at the city council meetings if time permits. We have the National League of Cities BAD, that's vacant and dilapidated properties. There's a conference going on in Austin, Texas that myself and several other individuals in the city of College Park will be attending. We're trying to develop ways, talk with other communities, and find out how we can address vacant and dilapidated properties in our community. The ATL data center expansion, I guess the sound wall of the barrier has been completed. There have been some complaints of the ATL data center noise from that particular facility. Tasha is working to have additional trees planted to serve as a sound barrier between the ATL data center and the Tracy Wyatt Recreation Center. The Atlanta Fire Department, they're actually going to be moving in, or they're actually going to be moving into the old Boeing building. This is off of Godby Road. They're close to receiving their CO, their certificate of occupancy. Of course, once they have that, they will be able to go ahead and to occupy the facility. Tasha is working on an affordable housing program with Chase Bank. Those of you may know that the City of College Park has a home buyers assistance program where you can get up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. That money has not been available for the last couple of years for obvious reasons. Budgets are tight, but Chase Bank has a program where regardless of your income, you can make $100,000 a year or you can make $20,000 a year. But you can actually qualify if you live within various census tracts, in which College Park is one of those census tracts that you can actually get grant money directly from Chase Bank to use as down payment and closing assistance money. So Tasha's getting our paperwork in order so that our city residents, you don't have to be a city employee, but city residents in general will be able to take advantage of these funds. Main Street, I would think that in Renee, she may have talked about this, but we're getting Wi-Fi is being installed in Main Street. And soon you can sit outside the parklets, and if you need Wi-Fi, you will actually be able to sign into the Wi-Fi that's available on Main Street. And the thing is that what will happen is that the Wi-Fi will take you to the Main Street page through College Park Main Street Association's page. So it will, those that actually use the Wi-Fi will actually be able to see what's going on in College Park and Main Street area. And I think that's going to really, boost the attractiveness of downtown College Park, businesses locating here and people visiting. And then Hawthorne Station. Hawthorne Station is the development located off of Herschel Road. It's somewhat visible from Camp Creek Parkway, but near Brandon Park. Right now they're doing improvements to the park. They're taking down old trees. They're refurbishing the field. They're taking down old fences. They're building a new parking lot there, and they're building restroom facilities and putting up new lights. This deal was done. This is actually being done by the developer who's developing the 300 homes in the Hawthorne Station area. I believe there's approximately 200 townhomes and about 100 single-family homes. They will be selling for $350,000 and up. So we're looking forward to the park being improved and also the new homes coming online. And that's all I have to report on at this time. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question in reference to the Hawthorne Station. Do we have an idea, or are we going to have a groundbreaking? And if so, when will that take place? An estimated time?
As for groundbreaking, they've been doing a considerable amount of work out there, and it's really muddy right now. They're putting in all the infrastructure. They may have a groundbreaking still. I'm not sure of that, but we can look into that. I'm quite sure there'll definitely be a ribbon cutting.
Okay.
I'm quite sure also that they'll probably be building 2 or 3 model homes out in the area once they get all the infrastructure in. But the big thing right now they're trying to do is build that roadway so that they can get into that development. You can still reach it through the apartment complex area, but you know, there's they got a lot of work to do on that roadway. It's real muddy back there. You can make it back there, but I don't think that they want to try to attract anyone back there right now because it's not walker friendly or driver friendly.
Exactly. Okay.
But I'll look into that. That's a good question. It will get an idea of when we can plan on having some type of acknowledgement of the new development coming online.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any questions? Any additional questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you for all of your hard work. And if there are not any other issues at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for us to leave this session and to go into executive session to discuss real estate. Is there a motion? Or who would like to motion?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
To discuss real estate.
Real estate.
Okay, thank you. That was
Second.
Second, okay, that's the mayor and mayor pro tem. Those in favor, please say your name and aye.
Ken Allen, aye.
Jamel McKenzie, aye.
Anita
Leslie
Cadis,
Finn,
aye. Anita Cadis, aye.
And Leslie said it as well.
Bianca Motley Broom, aye.
Okay. Is there anyone, did everyone say aye? Is that everybody? Okay, was that unanimous? Okay, so let's move on. James, you can close us out. And if anybody needs to take a stretch leg break or something, this is a good time.
I'm logging out now.
Okay.
Miss Aretha? Miss Aretha?
Sorry, brother.
I hear you, Arnie.
Yes. Anybody